Hey guys, Utah Steve here. I know it's been a while. I hope you'll forgive me. January has been a brutal month for me. I have been very sick. I'm getting better now. My voice is still a little raspy, but the illness is gone, thank goodness. And I've also been working a lot of hours at my day job and haven't been able to get around to videos. So I found this little moment, this little pocket in time of my busy schedule. Things will settle down soon. I'm only on this schedule till about the middle of February, and towards the latter end of February I hope to do a winter desert camp out, probably a car camping episode. In the meantime, I plan on doing weekly videos of different kinds of gear that I've accumulated that I have yet to showcase. I'm always happy to show that stuff off and talk about it. And today I want to talk about odds and ends, outdoorsy odds and ends. And by that I mean things that you find in places you wouldn't expect, like a department store or a gas station, just in your everyday travels, not necessarily at a sporting goods store or online. And I have a few examples of that right here with me today, and I just want to share them with you real quick. Sometimes you can find these inexpensive little treasures. No, they're not top of the line gear, but they will work for you. And if you're anything like me, I live on a budget, and I have roughly $100 a month probably that I can spend on any kind of gear, which sounds ample enough, but some of the gear, and as many of you know, in the outdoors world can be quite expensive, and $100 ain't gonna crack it. So I'm always looking for the best deal I can find, and I think I'll start things off with this little guy. This is a Lumo by Nebo. Lumo by Nebo. This is a 25 lumen lantern. You can see that. I don't have the lights off right now. It's broad daylight, but there you go. This puts off 25 lumens of light. It connects to a keychain with this little carabiner. This was about $6 at a gas station that I recently went to, and I saw this hanging and I thought that would be perfect for a little tent light. If you were going cheap and you just needed something to just give enough light in your tent to read by, especially if you're in a one-man tent by yourself. This certainly wouldn't work in a family tent with a bunch of people, but we're talking backpacking here. So you're by yourself in your one-man tent, you hang this from the ceiling, you turn it on, and you've got plenty of light to work with. I'll give you a closer look at it right here. Okay, so here we go. I chose blue. I tend to choose blue a lot. It's my favorite color. Excuse my desk, it's a little beaten up over the years. It's taken a beating, but I like this desk, so I've never replaced it. Anyway, little cheap carabiner. All it is a push button, as you can see there. Just one click. There's only one setting. It doesn't strobe or anything like that. So there's nothing fancy about it. I would imagine that inside here are just some typical flat lithium type batteries. I don't know what you call them, but this did come with a label on it warning that in the state of California there's a chemical in this that causes cancer. The state of California says that it causes cancer, not necessarily the FDA or anything like that, but as we all know, California is kind of its own country anyway. So pretty neat little find at a gas station. I'm not worried about the chemical inside. I'll be using this on future camp out, breaking it in and seeing how it does out in the field. Alright, so let's move on to the next thing. Alright, next up I have this handy little, it's a knife, but it's several tools in one. Not exactly a multi-tool. I found this after Christmas in a department store called Gordman's. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you have it where you are. I don't know how widespread it is. Anyway, it's a store that sells clothes and shoes and jewelry and cologne, and not usually things like this. But at Christmas time, they have those sections in Target, in Walmart, and in Gordman's where they bring these things in special just for the holidays and charge $10, $5, just for people who don't know what to get them for Christmas. And there's a huge selection of different items, usually novelty type things. But I was pretty impressed with this. This was marked at $10 through the holidays, but when I found it sitting on the shelf, it said it was 50% off. So $5. I thought, why not? Then I got to the check stand and it rang up even cheaper. I got this little knife for $2. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this and I'll tell you what I think is so cool about it. Of course, I chose the blue. Can't help it. I love especially cobalt blue, kind of this color, maybe a little deeper. As you can see, it goes well with my little 25 lumen lantern. So anyway, here's a closer look. Okay, so as you can see, it has this little handy clip to tuck it in your pocket and not lose it. It's made for an automobile. It's made to go in your car. This little pointy thing here on the end is so you can break the window in an emergency, or if you're living the thug life, you can, get free stuff. Anyway, it's made to go in your glove box, but I can see its uses in the outdoors. It's got this little blade here, very sharp, kind of a razor blade. And the reason that's there is it's meant to, if you have to cut your seatbelt off, you can use this. And also, it opens up, and there's a decent sized blade here. It's sharp. It's not dull. I expected it to be for the price. It is not. And so it's kind of a 3-in-1. I'm trying to remember what these holes were for. It said they had a purpose, but I don't remember. So if anyone out there knows what these would be for, that would be great if you could post it in the comments. Anyway, so let's say you're driving down the road and you lose control of your car and you end up in a lake somewhere. And as you're going down, you can bust the window, cut the seatbelt, and I don't know, stab a fish on the way up to the surface. I don't know what you'd use that for, but my use for this, of course, is I want to take this backpacking. It's small, it's compact, it locks in place. To close it, you simply grab this little piece here and push it off to the side, and it closes. So it's safe. This won't take up much room in your pack at all. You can see how small it is. So just another neat little item I found in a very odd place I wouldn't expect to find something like this. So there's our knife. I don't have a name brand on this one. I think it was a pretty generic name brand. It was like Tool Experts or something like that. I can't remember. And the name Tool was in there, so it's just a generic item that definitely will come in handy when I take it in the outdoors. So let's move on to item number 3. Okay, so item number 3. Actually, the next 2 items I found at all places, JCPenney. As many of you might know, that's a department store similar to Gordman's, but not so novelty based. Clothing, shoes, small appliances, that kind of thing. And of all things for them to have, they had this. Now, this is sort of like a Swiss Army knife, but it's strictly for eating. It's strictly it strictly has a food purpose. There are no, screwdrivers in this or wine cork openers or any of the other things it comes with, mind readers, whatever they come with. There is simply a fork, a spoon, a knife to cut your meat with, and a little bottle opener right here. Not a can opener. I tried it. I guess it might work, but it was so dull. I would open bottles with that. Not that I'd ever be in the mountains with a glass bottle with a lid on top, I don't think. But anyway, something else kind of cool that these do. I got to be careful here with this knife. It's also quite sharp. They come apart, in theory. There we go. So here's our fork if I want to eat with just the fork and not all this other bulky stuff. and the it looks like the bottle opener is attached to the fork. And then we have the, it looks like the knife and the spoon are just, they're connected. These don't come apart, I don't think. They're not moving. So it's just the fork that separates from the knife and spoon. Now, I don't plan on using this in the outdoors, because I just ordered a titanium spork that I'm waiting to get here, and that's enough for me to eat with. And with a knife like this, if I need a knife, there it is. I don't need to be redundant. But what I do use these for, I already have. In fact, the fork's kind of gross and dirty. I probably should have washed it first. I keep this in my EDC pack, my everyday carry. The one that I take to work that has all of my essentials in it for day-to-day living. And I'm going to do another video about that pack in the very near future. But I keep this in there. This is what I eat with at work. And what I've found at work is I'm often running out of even plastic utensils to eat with. So I always have this with. I just usually make sure I clean it really well. Little trick I learned is to carry alcohol swabs, which are pretty prevalent in the hospital where I work. So if I'm not near somewhere where I can wash this in the sink, I just wipe it down with those. It kills the germs, it gets the crap off, and you're good to go. So there's that from JCPenney. Very odd place to find something like that. And it wasn't just a Christmas item. It was a regular stock item. You can probably find this on their website. Let's see. It's probably jcpenney.com. I've always thought of JCPenney as an old lady store, but it turns out I've been very mistaken about that. I don't think old ladies are using these. And the last item I want to show you also came from JCPenney, and I decided to do some delving into what kind of outdoors clothing they had. And what I found was a little treasure in the clearance section of their website. And that is this. This is a 90% down puffer coat. 10% feathers, it says. Down is feathers. I don't know what kind of filler feathers they put in here. I've only had this a few days. List price $100, and that was the genuine list price. But because it was after the holidays and they're looking at stocking for spring, now that it's towards the end of January, they marked it down in clearance. I got this for 34 bucks. And this isn't the really thick kind like you see a lot of people wear, but I can tell you it's been 22 degrees at night here, and I've taken this to work with me and walked around outside for a significant amount of time. This thing is warm. Everywhere this touched in 22 degree weather kept me warm. I don't plan on hiking with this, but I do plan on putting it in my pack, taking it backpacking for sitting around the fire or even sleeping in. It comes with a stuff sack attached. And we'll go ahead and see how this fits in this stuff sack, this large coat. It's incredibly lightweight. This only weighs ounces. I haven't weighed it yet, but we can do that too. Here, let's do this right now. Okay, now as you can see, the stuff sack, it just attaches to this little loop here, and I leave it on there. I can't even tell it's there when I'm wearing this coat. As long as it's not hanging over the back, it's fine. I just don't want to lose the stuff sack. I wear size extra large, and this is made by a company called Xergen. I don't know how you pronounce that. It is made in China, but there you go. You can see that it's 100% nylon shell, lining 100% nylon, filling 90% down, and 10% feather. Tells you how to wash it. Of course, down, you have to be careful with getting wet. But let's go ahead and stuff it in the stuff sack. Okay, so there you go. You can see that I've made it fit. I just need the drawstring here. I'm doing this one-handed. It's not very easy. Okay, so there we are, all packed up. The Exertion, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, packable down jacket. It can compress even more. I mean, I can really squeeze that down if I need to. So the whole jacket just squeezes down to nothing. Let's go ahead and weigh it. It's zeroed out. And we have 10 ounces even. So it's a nice little jacket that kept me warm in 22-degree weather. 10 ounces for $34. I almost forgot while I was making this video that I have a fifth thing that I found also at Gordman's. Very unusual place to find this. This is pretty cool. I'm actually impressed with it. I don't know how well it works. I need to field test it as usual, but it's not just a carrying case. We have here, again, some generic brand, so hold your breath. It's a backpacking shovel. Looks like it's made of steel pipe and blade, and it just screws together. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at it, and I'll show you how this works. Well, you know how a shovel works, but let me show you how it goes together. If you don't know how a shovel works, there's probably a YouTube video about it. So when you take it out of the handy little carrying case here, as you can see, it has a little loop to carry it on your belt or hook it to your pack. I would hook it to my pack. This doesn't weigh as much as I thought it would, being steel. It's literally like a piece of pipe that someone got creative with and put grips on. And anyway, this piece screws in right here. Sorry about all the noise. I keep banging into stuff here. There we go, nice and tight. And then there's a little wheel here that we turn to loosen the blade so that we can swing it up, loosen it a little more. There we go. Oh, come on, let's deal. There we go. Just tighten it down again once the blade is sticking straight out. And there we have it, a complete shovel. Now, this is apparently a saw. It's really dull and it's painted. I doubt that works very well, but I will test it. I'll see if it does what they say. And a bottle opener, which, you know, you need that on a shovel. All shovels should have bottle openers because when you're shoveling, you get hot and thirsty. Who doesn't need a cold drink? I think that's retarded. I think this is kind of retarded. I just, you know, the rest of it, though, pretty practical. So there you have it, all put together. It's only, I'd say a little over 12 inches. That's probably a foot and a half. Maybe 18 inches long, which is what a foot and a half is. I'm really getting good at this. Anyway, you want to make sure this is tight. It has a tendency to come a little loose, but I haven't tested this yet. Let's go ahead and weigh it. I'm curious how much this weighs, how much weight I have to worry about in my pack. It's not as heavy as it looks. Okay, we're zeroed out. Can you see that? There we go. Place it on here. Oh, look at that. 12.2 ounces. That is only 2 ounces more than the puffer coat. That's impressive. A little shovel like that only weighs 12 ounces and breaks down into this little pouch right here. So pretty cool. That was $10. It would have been cheaper if I bought it after Christmas, but I actually spotted that one during Christmas. I bought it, made my wife wrap it and give it to me for Christmas. And I was actually really excited about it. I still am. I'm excited to get it out there and use it. So there you go, another 10 bucks. So total price for all this stuff, I probably spent, I'd say 72 bucks, but it was spaced out over time. I didn't spend it all at once. So these are just little things I've accumulated as I've gone on. Let's go ahead and break down our shovel. Just unscrew the handle. It's It probably could use some kind of lubricant. It really doesn't grab well. Then again, it might not stay together if you use some KY. No, I'm just kidding. If you use some WD-40, I probably wouldn't. It probably won't stay together. Anyway, and then we'll loosen this little wheel until we can fold that over like that. And then I usually tighten it up again just so that it doesn't wobble around in there too much. So you have your two pieces, your case, just pop them in there. Zip it up. Oh, look at that. The zipper broke off. So guess what, guys? It doesn't come in a case anymore. I barely pulled on that. So the biggest piece of crap about this shovel apparently is the case itself, which kind of bums me out. But this can easily go into a pocket of my backpack without a problem. So still gonna use it, not worried about it. But hey, there you go, live and in person, a demonstration of how crap can go wrong in the middle of the mountains. That zipper came off like butter. Came off like butter. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so there you go. There's the shovel. All right, guys. So that's it. About 72 bucks for everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Keep your eyes out when you're out going from place to place. See what kind of outdoorsy things you can spot in unusual places. And feel free to comment down below anything unusual that you found or anything good that you found in an unusual place, which is more where I'm leaning here. So I'm Utah Steve. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you out on the trail. Let me and stuff and whatever.
All in all,
oh great, I unpaused my video.
Exertion.
Shut up. Me.